Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and yeah, I promise we're not doing puzzles in alphabetical order. Yesterday we had one called 9 bent arrows, 1 straight, but today we have 9 is the key. It's not numerical order either, but that's just a coincidence. This puzzle, by the way, is a mixture of between lines, arrows, and black dot crop key. So do give it a try if you fancy it on the link. I will explain the rules more thoroughly in a moment. I do want to mention the incredible Jewels of Osiris Sudoku and treasure hunt on Patreon that Demono created and that is there. It's causing some frustration, but it's causing a lot of pleasure as well. So very well done to anybody who's got through it and indeed read the whole story. I think there's one particularly good character in that story, in my personal opinion. Do check it out if you're with us on Patreon. Join us if you're not. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, obviously. Like the videos. Go on. Go mad. But anyway, that's going on Patreon. That's the big thing at the moment. We've also got apps and so on. Check out the links under the video. Sven's Sudoku pad, all the other good stuff. What's going on there? Nothing. Right, so that's all what's going on there. Now, let's have a look at the rules of this puzzle then. The Jodawo. Let's talk about Jodawo first of all, who has contributed a number of puzzles onto the channel, or sent them in, been featured a few times, and here we go again. Has often been very difficult in the past. Let's see what happens today. We have normal Sudoku rules, 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every box. Digits along an arrow must sum to the number in the circle, so those two will add up to that one. Digits joined by a black dot, they've been slightly obscured, the black dots, but you can clearly see where they all are still, are in a 1 to 2 ratio, so that could be a 1-2 pair, a 2-4 pair, a 4-8 pair, or a 3-6 pair. Now, numbers along a between line, so let's just pick this one first of all, must have a value between the values of the numbers on its circles. So you could have a 2, a 4 and a 7 there, and a 1 and an 8 on the circles, for instance. Now, just be clear up here, there's one between line there, that has to be between those two. And on this top one, the circles are there and there, and the line is there. So those 3 digits are between those two. So those are the rules. There's no negative constraint on the black dots. Just give it a try if you fancy it. Check the video length to see how hard I found it. Let's hope that's a guide for once. And I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So okay, the thing I know about between lines is that 1 and 9 can never be on a between line, because there's obviously no Sudoku digit more extreme than those. Okay, so right, yeah, okay, 9 can also not be on a black dot, so none of these can be 9s. Those because of the rule about not being on a between line. Remember, that cell is a between line for these circles. So those can't be 9. That can't be 9 because it's on a black dot. These can't be 9 because they're on an arrow that adds to another digit. So that is 9. 9 is the key, remember, the puzzle title. So yes, okay, here we go again. Symmetry prevails. Jodawo has been very kind to us that way. None of those can be a 9 because of the between lines. That can't be a 9 because of the black dot. They can't because of the arrow. So we're using all 3 Sudoku rule sets to put a 9 there. Now that can't be a 9, and one of those two is in column 5. Now, what else? Oh no, here we go again. Same setup in boxes 2 and 6. Boxes 4 and 6, sorry. None of the, well, no, similar setup in boxes 4 and 6. None of those can be 9s because of the between lines rule. Those two can't because of the black dot rule. This one can't because of arrow Sudoku. So we're left with those places for 9s in boxes 4 and 6. Okay, these can't be 9s because they're all on black dots. Oh, there are 3 black dots in this column. We'll come back to that in a second. I was just going to work out, those can't be 9s because they're on black dots. These can't be 9s by Sudoku, and that also. So 9 in box 1 is in one of those two. 9 in column 3, therefore, is down here. Oh, okay. A 9 can't be on a black dot in row 7, so it's there. And it can't be on a black dot in column 7, so it's there. Loads of 9s finished. I was just about to point out, and I'm still going to, there are 3 black dots in this column. The only digits, the only Sudoku digits that can go on these black dots are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. 5 and 7 can't, because they don't have digits that are half or double them that are Sudoku digits. So they go in those 2 cells. Now, if that's a 7, one of these has to have an 8 in. If it's a 5, however, one of them could have a 6 in, which is a shame. Okay. So if 9 is the key, we've done pretty much most of the 9s now anyway. Not sure how that's going to help. Yeah, this is, well, in this column, we don't have 3 black dots all in the column, but we have 2.5, so these cells can't be 5 or 7. Oh, okay, that's telling me that one of these two at least, this is either a pair of 5 or 7, or at least one of them is 5 or 7. That feels like it's significant. One of these is 8 or 6. There's probably something I can do. It's not a Fistamafel ring, is it? No, let's forget that for the moment. Eight, 7, 6. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, we've got all these 9s around the perimeter. So there are limitations on what can go in the other circles. If that's 8, 7, 6, the maximum this can be is 5. Because it's on a black dot, it can't be specifically a 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Here, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Black dot again. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I don't know, is that helpful? Probably not. I think we need to think about column 3 quite a bit. I don't know. I don't know whether it's more important to think about that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of places. Okay, let's be honest. I don't really know what's going on in the puzzle still. Right, around this circle where there are 4 of these dumbbells, 4 of these straight line between lines, we can only put black dot digits in any of those circles. But each of the pairs, no, each of the between lines needs a high one? No, I'm not even sure. One of these has to be 8 or 6. It's not ruling anything out from here. Oh, I'm very stuck now. I'm just missing something quite big about some box somewhere. What am I missing? What is he missing? is it this 5/7 pair, which is about the only concrete thing I've been able to identify. Right, these four are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Sorry, these 6 cells are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. And they go in pairs, don't they? So there's a 1, 2 pair, there's a 3, 6 pair, and a 4, 8 pair. Now, how does that help? Oh, okay. If you were to put 8 there, you'd get a 4 here. And that is interesting. Well, okay, this is interesting. If I could prove there was a 7 on one of these lines, I think this does get interesting, because then 8 has to go in one of the circles. Once 8 goes in one of the circles, anywhere, then 4 goes in its accompanying circle. And 4 has a hard time. If you imagine that's an 8 and that's a 4, I'm just choosing this pair at random. I'm actually going to colour these pairs different. I'll tell you what, I'll colour those green. These ones purple, these ones orange, and these ones blue. Right, if you imagine that the green-blue pair is 8, 4, then the 4, imagine it was there, you couldn't put an 8 here. And the only way to get separation is with a 3, 2 pair and a 1 on the other black dot. So once you put an 8 somewhere, you get 4 next to it, you get 1 in the opposite end, you get 2 next to that because of the black dot. And here we've got a double black dot. So 8, 4, 1, 2. Ah, these can't be 8, 4 pairs. Oh no, that one can't be. Yes, this can't be. Well, that can't be 8. Okay, that's all I've got at the moment, because that would be 4. Oh, and this is higher, so you couldn't have enough to fit in between 6. Right. So this one is not 8. I mean, I know that is a very feeble deduction. I have a feeling that one won't be 8 either. 4, 8 pair there. Yeah, you'd have to have a 6 on here, on purple. I can't quite get this. There's something going on with this square of between lines. As soon as you put an 8 or a 6 even on it, I think it gets very constraining. And I've worked out that can't be an 8 because it breaks down here. If that's an 8, this is a 4, but now, you know, that can't be an 8 because you'd have another 4. So if that's an 8, that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 2. Oh, this, I mean, there's probably a simpler way of going about this, but it's really very interesting at this point. I probably meant to colour some digit rather than this circle of between lines. I'm sorry, I'm just getting stuck here now, I know. And I'm irritated with myself, but there we go. only just thought, they can't be 1. None of those can be 1. So 1 is either here or on this arrow. That's quite big, isn't it? If 1 was there, this is a 2. I don't know, maybe that isn't, but if I could put 1 on the arrow, then I know where 8 is. How about down here? 1 is in one of those 3 cells. If that's a 1, ooh, this is a 2. This has to be 6 or 8. Oh, if that's a 1 and that's a 2, this has to be bigger because you can't put 1 on the line. So if that's a 1, we get 2 here, 4 here, at which point this can't be 8, so that would be 6. This would be 3. Oh, 3 is going to have to lead to an 8 here. Right, let's just see what happens. 1 here, then you get 2, 4, 6, 3, 8, 4. That has to be 1. And that becomes 2. My goodness, if you trace it round, working on what has to happen based on this being a 1, it breaks on both of those being 2s. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So why that happens is because if you put a 1 here, that is a 2. You can't put 1 on its line, so that's a 4. Now you've had 2 and 4 here. This is bigger, but you can't put 8 here because you'd clash with 4s in the column. So you'd have to put 6 here, and that's a 3. Once you've put a 3 there, you need to fit 2 cells in before this one. Has to be 6 or 8. It can't be 6 anymore, or you'd clash with 3s, so that's an 8. Then this becomes a 4. Once that's a 4, this can't be 8 or you'd clash with 4s. So this becomes a 1, and then that's a 2, which not only can't form a between line with a 1 here, but it would clash with a 2 there. So this is not a 1. So in this box, 1 can't now be in any of those cells, and that's a 1-8 pair. That is quite complicated, but very interesting. 2, 3, 4, or 6 is that. Now, maybe we can just think more about this. No, we can't. I was going to say, where does 2 go in the box now? But it can go on this line if that's a 1. So, oh, maybe, I mean, imagine if I went to those lengths around the ring and was really delighted, and then it just doesn't help at all. I think that might just have happened. Okay, so that couldn't be a 1. Let's just keep thinking about this. If that was a 2, actually I think that's quite plausible. This could be a 1 quite comfortably, but it could also be a 4. No, actually I don't think this can be a 4. Because this isn't a 3-2 pair, letting that be a 1, and that can't be an 8. This cannot be a 4. Now, if it's an 8, we've got a 4 there and a 4 there. That 4 is going to require a 1 here. That puts a 2 here. The 4 here makes this, I don't know, that's an 8-4 pair. I'm not ruling any of these out very successfully. If this is a 6, those are both 3s. That has to be an 8 in that case. Then you get a 4 here, 1, 2. It's so strange. I mean, there's a whole thing going on, and I'm not getting on top of it at all. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel I'm giving you a very ham-fisted look at this puzzle. It's very interesting though. It's definitely all to do with this circle. Now, I thought 1 was all right here, and that's worth thinking about again. Maybe I made a mistake. If that's a 1, this is a 2. That's 6 or 8. That's 3 or 4. And that's 8 or 1, but this can't be 8, so it's 1. And that didn't work either. This being 1 didn't work. It's not 1 because there's a 1 in one of those cells. Hang on. Where did I start that? Because it was brilliant. I started that with a 1 here. That made this a 2. Then this has to 2 and 2 higher digits there. This has to be 6 or 8 to be on the black dot. That makes this 3 or 4. But neither work because you can't put 8 or 1 here. Is that right? 1 there gives us 2 here, 6 or 8 here, 3 or 4 here. Yeah, you can't have 3, 6, 3 or you'd have a clash of threes. That doesn't work. So this can't be a 1 now. It could be earlier, but it can't now. So the 1 in the box is there. This is a 1-8 pair again. And again, this may not advance my understanding of this puzzle at all, which is quite distressing, but it could happen. That's a 1-8 pair. Now, I thought this couldn't be an 8, actually, because that would be 4. This would be 3, 2. That would be 1. 2 here. This would be 6 or 8. That would be 3 or 4. Now, that's a problem again. Or is it? Maybe it's not. Oh, I'm getting a bit confused and stuck here now. I mean, this was decent progress, but now I'm just feeling like I'm spinning round looking at the same things over and over again. One of those had to be a 5 or a 7, so one of the ends of blue is 6 or 8. One of the ends of purple is 6 or 8. It would be very interesting to say they can't be the same 6 or 8. But I don't think that's definitely a true thing. I can't see a reason why that has to be the case. I mean, it might be interesting to investigate in more detail, but I can't really come up with a justification for going into an enormous amount of case testing there. Unless I can't do anything else in the puzzle, which... Oh, this now can't be 1 or 8, nor can that, because they're in the box. So those are from 2, 3, 4 or 6. Now that is a little bit limiting, isn't it? Has anything been ruled out of there? No. 3 and 6, no. But we can only be going... If that was a 4, this could be a 1. Otherwise, we're going higher. I don't know. If we're climbing from a lower number there to a higher number here, this has to be 6 or 8. If we're going down, the trouble is if that's a 6, well, there's a 3 there, then this is 2 or 1. So this ends up being 1, 2 or 8. They are a slightly restricted set. I think this ends up being 1, 2 or 4. Now, if that's a 4, this could be a 1 if we went. That's the only way this could go down to there. Otherwise, we go up. But if that's a 1-2 pair, you've got at least 3 and 4 there. This would have to be 6 or 8. And if it's a 4 and we're going, well, that's impossible. It can't be a 4 and we're going up. So this is either 1, 6 or 8. This might actually just work more simply. That rules out 6 from here. This is now 2, 3 or 4. Now there is one way to go down, which is at 4 down to 1. Otherwise we're going up. And we've got at least 3 and 4 here. This has to be 6 or 8. Again, 1, 6 or 8 here. This one now is 2, 3 or 4. Again, just like that. And we've got a 5 or a 7 to cope with. So that's the lower. This is the higher and is 6 or 8 now, which is touching a 3 or a 4 on the black dot. Right, this, oh, I don't know, it's not totally clear. If that's a 4, we could have a 3-2 pair and a 1. This can't be 2 anymore. That's interesting. This now can't be 1. So that is 2 or 4. I want to say this can't be 6. That's not necessarily true. Oh, this is getting weird. I'm narrowing these options down, but not quite successfully. Oh, look, I don't think this can be 4. Because with that not being able to be 2, it would have to be 8, and that would have to be 8. So that is not a 4. That is now 2 or 3. This is now 1 or 6, definitely. Oh, this is crazy times. 6 or 8 there means this is 3 or 4. I'd just forgotten to do the black dot bit there. I don't know. I mean, we're still getting closer. I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think that can be 4, but it can. 4, 2, 3, 1, 8, 9. Oh, I mean, it's going to be very powerful if we finally get this as a breakthrough. Now, there had to be 5 or 7 on these, on this line. I said that early on, it's still true. One of those has to be on this line. So that can't be low. That is 6 or 8. This is now 3 or 4. Oh, so this is either a 4-5 pair going up to 6 or a 2-3 pair going down to 1. Come on, Mark. Three, 4, 5. That would be 2, 7, 6. No, hang on. 4, 2, 3. This would be 5, 6, 7. 3 going up to 6 is not possible because those would both be 6s. So that is a 4 going, I finally got there, going down to 1 here. That's a 2. That is, don't know, okay, this is an 8. That's a 1 by Sudoku. That's a 2. This can't be 3 anymore. That's a 4. There's a 2-3 pair here. This is an 8 by Sudoku. That's a 4. Okay. This is a 3-6 pair up at the top. And these, 9, 1, 8, 2, 3, 4, they are 5, 6, 7. So that has to be a 3. 6 on the line, so that's not a 6. And we've got 5, 6 or 7 to place in the row as well. So actually that's a 5. This has to be 7 by Sudoku. That's a 6. Now we can use the between line and make that a 5. And I think this is all going to get a bit easier. 6, 7, 8 there. Now here, this can't be a 1, 2 pair. Actually, we've had 1, 2 and 8. This has to be a 6, 3 pair. But these are 5, 6 and 7, so it's the same as at the top. We get a 3 there and a 6 there. These definitely include a 5 by Sudoku. Oh, they don't include a 7, so that is a 4, 5 pair. 1, 3 and 9 here. Well, obviously not 1 or 3 in the circle. That's an unsurprising 9. This now can't be 7. That's not 9. Let's look at this row. Yes, 5 there. 7 and 6. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple. That's fixed. 5 and 7 in column 3. This is now a triple of 1, 3, 9, I think. 7, 6, so 5, 8 pair at the top, 2, 4 pair at the bottom. I can't resolve those unless I look at the arrow, when I immediately can resolve them. That arrow might have been doable for ages or something, I don't know. 8, 2, 4, 5. I think we're just going to be finishing off now, I really do. 2, 4 in the circle again. There's a lot of symmetry. Rotational symmetry in this puzzle. I can't find my cursor. 2 and 4 there. Now I've just got these middle bits to do. I've done all of the corner boxes. 5 is looking at that one. There's a 4 there by Sudoku. All the 4s are done. That gives us a 9 in the circle. Now, this can't be 2, 3, 4 because of the 4. So there's a 1 on it, but I remember there was a 1, 8 pair there. So the 1's in one of those cells, and that sorts this into an 8. 1, 8, 1. Can we place 8? No. All I know is it's somewhere in those cells. Now, is this 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5? I don't know. But if it's 2, 1, 6, it goes that way round. If it's 1, 3, 5, the 5 is there, and we've got a 1, 3 pair. I'm sure that is resolvable somehow. That's given me a 1, 3 pair in this row. Oh look, there's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So that is 6 or 7, as is the one at the bottom. That 6 or 7 gives me a 6, 7, 8 triple. And that has to be a naked 3 at that point, which is probably incredibly helpful. 2, 3. I think I'm going to get my 9 arrow sorted out in the middle, just like that. It's a 1, 2, 6. Oh, that was really, really nice bit of tidying up. Thank you, Jadawo. That is a good way to get through to the end of this. That's a very interesting puzzle. I am close to 100% sure that I made that Fistamafel ring bit of the puzzle look incredibly complicated. Now I'm doing the same to the middle bit of the puzzle, where I've clearly made an error recently, because I seem to want to put 2 8s in. Look, I've put an 8 there. There we go. Sorry, I cannot read, I cannot type, I cannot do any of the normal functions of a human being, but nonetheless, I'm a high-functioning lunatic, and I've got that done. 9 is the key, although actually I think that circle was the key. I really struggled with that. Anyway, we're done and relieved, and that is how to do it. Oh, no, that's a way to do it. I'm sure you did it a better way. Do tell us in the comments. Love them if they're kind, but I know they can't always be. And we hope to see you again tomorrow on Cracking the Cryptic. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.